One of the things, an interesting thing that happened as the committee was, well, kind of as people are tossing out ideas on the changes that should occur in 1906, there were two teams out in Kansas that decided to play a test game to experiment and institute some of the potential rule changes. So Fairmont, which now is Wichita State, and Washburn played one another. And the coach of Washburn was a guy named John Outland, who the Outland Trophy is named after. OSU had a coach, last name, it was Eddie Cochins. He had played at Wisconsin and I think was an All-American or, whatever. He was a star there. He ended up with a guy who transferred from Wisconsin down at St. Louis U named Bradbury Robinson, who was a pretty big guy who had big hands, and he had learned to throw the overhand spiral. But so he all said, here's this guy who has this capability that nobody else had. OSU basically, and Cochins, built this offense around, it's not like they just went to a passing offense, but, they threw the ball far more than anybody else. Now it's Carroll University, but they played a game and Bradbury Robinson threw the first forward pass in a legal, authorized game. So I always claim that Carroll invented pass defense. Where it really saw some use was out west, and probably one of the seminal moments in the forward pass didn't come until 1913 when Newt Rockne and Gus Dorius at Notre Dame visited Army for a game, and they were throwing the ball all over the place, and the New York sports writers and certainly the West Point football team were surprised at what they could do. And Notre Dame beat Army's butt, and it brought a lot of attention to what you could do with the forward pass if you think about it differently than most teams had thought about it to that point.